Okay, let's see what the topic of the morning is. What is the topic of the morning? Okay. Lots of things to choose from. Choices, choices, choices. Family. And judgment. Awaken. Metamorphosis. And again, choices. Okay, so just going back to family, what were the experiences in your family? Time to look at it, judging it for what it is and what it wasn't. Okay, did you grow up in a supportive household? Or did you grow up in a household where there was a lot of drama, a lot of maybe not the best choices? Maybe you were raised with well, like I talk about my own journey. I had a father that was so prejudiced. I grew up in that type of a family, and with a lot of, it was so bad when a black man would come on the TV, he would scream at the TV. I mean, literally would scream at the TV. Okay. He was a good entertainer, horrible father. So yeah, I mean, we all grow up with something, okay? And a lot of our life experience comes out of the point of judgment from how one was raised as a child. Either you buy into what was said there, or in my case, I saw that it was definitely, this is not what I want to be. Okay. It was a lesson of don't do this. Okay. So looking at your past, what are you taking from it? Have you learned from it, or are you being ruled by it? Some people are ruled by it. If they come from a household where there was alcohol abuse or drug abuse or things as well, some people continue to stay being ruled by these things. We see that so many times with people that are having drug, alcohol problems, that there's something in their past that they keep trying to run away from, that they want to be in denial about, or rage against, or pity party because of. In any case, it's not aiding them in their life whatsoever. So it's time to stop and look at those things and get a handle on them, rather than just letting them run this program behind the scenes that you're buying into or trying to run away from, trying to discount. Okay? just because these things happen, maybe you came from an abusive childhood, doesn't mean that you can't leave it behind. It is past. Okay? You don't have to buy into whatever was being said back then. Okay? Maybe when you live in a household where there's a lot of this cruelty, okay? Maybe it wasn't physical. Maybe some people did endure a lot of physical trauma. It could be also mental trauma, okay? Lower self-esteem because of that. Doesn't mean you have to buy into it. See it for what it is. You know, a lot of times, you know, they say the sins of the fathers are visited on the sons. Well, it's visited on the daughters too, okay? The sins are visited on the children. Doesn't mean that it was something that the children had done wrong or had been punished for or just railroaded by. You have to understand that people come in with their baggage, and sometimes the child can be the target for their angst, whatever it is. You know, in my case, first thing he said, my father said to my mother when I was born, next time we'll have a son. He wanted nothing to do with women. He wanted nothing to do, and he had a mental breakdown at one point. He came home, found his ex-wife in bed with some guy, and he lost it. Then he had this tirade against women. For some reason, I must have reminded him of his sister in some way. So all the angst he had, he wanted to throw it in my face. It had nothing to do with me. Thank God, when I got older, I was able to see that and step out of that pattern, you know. But a lot of times, you know, they will pick one person in the family that they're going to heap their abuse on. They become the whipping boy, okay? So if you've come out of that dynamic, are you letting it rule your life, or are you seeing it for what it is? Whatever drama they brought to the table, most often than not had nothing to do with the child in question. It has to do with their own failings and things they did not handle in their own lives, which they want to, like Trump loves to do, project it on others. Project their bad deeds onto others, okay? You don't have to continue to be the whipping boy. You don't have to continue to wallow in low self-esteem because of abuse, familial abuse, and not being raised in a manner with values, with integrity, okay? You can step out of that. Don't take it on. Don't, you know, some people will say, well, if that's all you think of me, then that's what I'm going to be. Either that or they'll fight it to the day they die, continuing to fight it, trying to convince themselves of something. And neither way is going to aid things. First of all, what it takes, the judgment, is to awaken and to metamorph. First you have to be like in the cocoon and look at these things. You have to step back and look at it realistically and see, you know, what's been perpetrated. And again, don't take it on as you were the problem or the cause or the Yeah, that you were not the problem and the cause. It had to do with something in their own failings that they did not handle. And it's just like Trump that wants to project all his bad deeds onto others. Sometimes you come from a background of that type of thing. They're projecting their own drama outward and want to put the blame on somewhere other than handling their own failings. Okay. So this is a time to maybe take some time if you've come out of a difficult background. To just look at it and see, and 9 out of 10, you'll discover you weren't the cause of it, okay? So you're not the cause of it, don't take it on, okay? Leave it where it belongs, in the lap of the abuser or the one that is just so, or some people now have the families that are the tangerine tyrant supporters, and you're just going, well, you're not going to change them. They are the way they are. They have to change their own stuff. Doesn't mean you need to wallow in it. Doesn't mean, sometimes you just have to leave it, walk away from it, and say, that's it, okay? I'm not going to say we don't choose. Sometimes we do choose the family, unfortunately. And sometimes you can find out that all the trauma has been a left-handed blessing, okay? Such as the case here. There was not a supportive environment. So because there was not a supportive environment whatsoever, no instance of love, no instance of anything like that, it drives one inwards. And in this case, it was a blessing because it started the spiritual path here much earlier for me than if you have a very supportive family, where you are enmeshed in that family life, okay? So again, you can look at something, and while you're going through it at the time, you're going, what in the world, what have I done? Was I this horrible person? Why, why this abuse? Why this drama, okay? So you can always find some sort of a silver lining. Either it has made you a stronger person, or it has driven you to seek something else. Like I said, in this case, being raised in a household, my mother kept her mouth, okay? Neither my mother or I allowed to have friends, allowed to go out, allowed to, no. Because my father was so insecure, okay, and untrustful of any woman. The woman is always the problem, okay? If there's a problem, it's the woman's fault, okay? It's one of those, okay? Oh, mercy. One of those. And like I said, just very, he could be personable up on stage. And that's, I think, a lot of people don't understand. They see somebody and they think that this mask they have, where they're in this public thing, the mask they wear is different than what they are behind the scenes, okay? And a lot of people don't understand that. They see this mask and this projected aura, this projected play actor, okay, that's out in public, that's not what they are behind the scenes, okay. So, yeah, I think this is where a lot of people get caught up when they see the stars, the actors and stuff, and they think their projected screen image is who and what they are behind the scenes. No, not necessarily. Okay. That's like you can watch Peter Sellers. He's so funny on the screen, but he wanted to be taken as a serious actor, and he was really a nasty person behind the scenes. Really nasty. You know, because people were not, what he wanted to project was he was a serious actor. And people cast him, he did so good in comedy. He was great in comedy. But it was really frustrating and he was really nasty. Okay? So again, what you see in the screen is not necessarily who they are behind the scenes. Same thing, you know, you can have someone that can seem to be the life of the party out there, and behind the scenes, they are controlling, domineering, nasty. Okay. So anyway, the whole point of this is you don't have to be locked into that. You can come out of it, but first you have to see it for what it is and acknowledge it for what it is. And if you come out of those type of abusive thing, whether it's drinking, okay, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's mental abuse, whether it is, you know, a controlled, ultra-controlled environment, no matter what it is, you can escape that, step out of it. But again, first you have to see it, and then you can change it. If you keep trying to run from it and trying to act as if it's not what it is, okay, want to try to put on, and some people want to do that. They want to hide. They don't want to let people know what's back there. You come out of alcoholic thing, then you want to put on a happy face and, oh, our home life is wonderful, it's fine, and, you know, but you're not being honest with yourself or honest with the situation. And that can, again, drive one to sometimes unhealthy avenues of trying to be in denial or soothing the pain or whatever it is, okay? But again, this is a message of hope that you can change. You don't have to be locked up in it. It is not who and what you are. It was an experience that one has had. Okay? Yeah. So you can look closer to the ascended masters, okay, to find out about eternity, about peace, about the lotus. The lotus is an interesting flower. The lotus has its roots in the mud. It grows out of the mud. Okay, pushes up through this creek or this, you know, through the muck, and comes out and blooms on the surface in pristine beauty. Okay, so again, be like the lotus. Okay, you started here, but you push up, okay? And then the last one is about in seeing in clarity. Anyway, ascended masters speak of the positives on how to move forward. Those of us that are light beings, light readers, will continue to give that. We'll continue to get offerings. You pick what's going to work for you or not. Okay, wealth, we offer a wealth of things. You don't have to pick them all up. Some things may be relative to you and some things may not. So pick out of there the things that are relative for you, beneficial, and use them and enter flow, the flow of the universe, rather than staying stuck. If you stay stuck, what happens? You get a river that gets stuck and then it becomes stagnant. Things die. If things are stagnant, then, these things germinate, okay? Die, kill off things. So don't be stagnant. Don't let things back up and become a cesspool. You got to keep things in flow. If there's a bunch of crap, flush it down, okay? Don't sit there and wallow in it. Come out of it, enter the flow of life. Things are always changing, and let that be a good thing. Learn from the past and go forward. Find the beauty that you can find, okay? And you can find beauty even when you come out of dire situations. Sometimes when you come out of dire situations, then you really appreciate when one comes out of that. One appreciates whatever else comes in life after that. It's a piece of cake, okay? Oh, mercy. So I'm going to leave this here. I hope somebody's gotten something of benefit out of this. And I wanted to say thank you for those that have wanted to send housewarming gifts or have given a donation for the housewarming gifts. Really do appreciate it. So sweet of you to do that. And I will find something nice for the house. But thank you so much for that. Much love and light to everyone. Don't forget, mask up. Okay, let's continue to mask up and be safe out there, as safe as we can be in these times. And remember, this too will pass. Whatever situation we find ourselves in, and we have the highs and we have the lows, okay? And then we have the stuck plateaus, but they all are going to change in time, okay? So love and light to everyone. Thanks for taking some time out and spending a little time here. I do so appreciate it. And I do read all of your comments. And thank you for that. See you online.